We're talking Wilkes University men's and women's swimming here on the John Mendola Show. Mark Barnes is the head coach. And Mark, let's talk a little bit about another year. Here we are, and let's talk about some of your swimmers in Colonel Land.
Yeah, we just started our fourth season as a team at Wilkes University. We have a great team. Every year we're starting to bring in more and more top recruits. And this year, we really exceeded that, and we brought in 11 freshman guys, 3 freshman women, so our team total now is up to 26. We've been swimming since mid-September with practices, and we started our meets in October. Right now, the gentlemen are 2-1 in conference. We are 3-2 overall. We won we were hosting an invitational this year, and we won our own invitational. The women, we have 8 women right now, so we're a little low on the women's side, but the women are fighting hard. We're having some personal best times already this year that we finished with last year.
Of course, we've seen different sports taking off in college. Ice hockey's hit campuses at Kings, is coming to Wilkes, and swimming has kind of been a splash the last 4 or 5 years in some of the campuses as well. So talk a little bit about going after some of those high school student athletes locally and what you're looking for and what for them to expect at a Division III school for swimming.
We're looking for, right now, since we're building a team, we're looking for all distances and strokes disciplines, freestyle, breaststroke, butterfly, all the way up to the distance, swimming the mile and so on. But when you're swimming Division III, the most important thing is academics. With the women's and the men's team, the College Swim Coaches Association of America hand out a Scholar All-American team, and I'm very proud that my team the last several semesters, 4 or 5 semesters, have maintained that academic All-American status. You need to have a 3.0, and over the last couple semesters we've been one of the higher ones in our conference, let alone Division III in the country. At Wilkes University, as you said, we're starting up with 24 different sports, men's and women's ice hockey coming in next fall. So you're seeing a lot of kids who are starting to specialize in a specific sport instead of having 3 sport athletes and so on. So it's getting a little bit more difficult to recruit that one individual who can do others.
Athletes that you do have, and they're out there working in the pool. Let's talk about some of the meets that you're going to and traveling, and some of the teams that you're going to face in your conference.
Yeah. So this season we swam our own sprint invite. It was the Colonel Splash and Dash. They were just sprints. Lycoming was there, Misericordia University. We brought in Juniata College, Lock Haven University. Our men's team ended up winning that meet. So it was really a good confidence booster for our team to being so young to beat some predominant teams in our conference like that. This year, we always finish the season with our rival, King's College. So this year, and just like every year from the future, it's going to get closer and closer, and it's going to become better races. Next weekend, we'll be at the Diamond Invite at the CYC, which is hosted by King's College. And that'll be a 2-day championship format, so that's usually one of our best meets of the season. But other than that, we're swimming a lot of conference foes, Albright, Arcadia, Widener. And then we have some out-of-conference, Mount St. Mary's, Cobleskill, and some other Penn State Altoona teams that are coming in that we can compete with.
Team bonding, talk about the get-togethers that you have with the women and the men, and just trying to make sure everybody's on the same page, because it's a grind, and whether you're doing wrestling or you're in ice hockey or whatever college athletic you're involved with, there's things you have to do. Yeah. Most important, as you said, are the studies, and it's great when you have good student athletes like you do, but every so often I'm sure you have to try to lighten that up a little bit.
Yeah, we do try to do several different types of team bondings. Over fall break, when we had training, we went to Chacos and Bold as a team, and we did a little bit like of a team mini tournament. We've done some scavenger hunts where the teams competed, and they traveled around the inner city there in Wilkes-Barre and on campus to try to find different types of pictures of the scavenger hunts that we did. The kids have gone to haunted houses, hay rides. We've also done plenty of community service. We've worked closely with the veterans on campus. We have done drug awareness walks. We've also been up to Hillside Farms, where we've done several hours of community service projects. It's mainly up to the kids. They do a lot of well planning and so on. We just got done doing a pediatric cancer t-shirt thing that the team came close with, that we raised over $1,200 for the Think Big Pediatric Cancer Society.
Well, these young women and young men at Wilkes doing a heck of a job for Coach Mark Barnes. We appreciate your time, and we wish you the best here in 2017-18.
Thank you, John.
Thurman Fogelman joins us from the Wilkes University swim team here on the John Mendola Show. And Thurman, let's talk about it's your senior year, so a couple of years of swimming under your belt. What's the experience been like for you?
It's been a good experience. When I came in my freshman year, that's when the team first was established, so that was pretty cool to be able to join a team that was just starting. And slowly over the years, we've been able to build that foundation so that way we can continue the team for years to come.
Of course, some new swimmers coming in the last couple of years. You got to try to show them the way. Talk about what you try to do as a leader to say, hey, here's what you're going to expect here at Wilkes.
Yeah, when they come up, we have our recruits from high school. They come up and we show them what's going on. We do things like lifting throughout the week, so we'll show them what's going on with that down in the weight room, and then they come to our practices. They can experience that. They'll come on the weekends, so they'll get to see a meet. If they come up for a home meet, they'll get to experience what that's like. And then we'll hang out with them on the weekends. We'll show them around Wilkes, give them like the inside student tour if they have any questions. One of the pretty cool things is they're allowed to come to classes with us. So if it fits their major and we have somebody in their major like engineering or pharmacy, they'll come and view those classes, so they'll get a taste of what it's like.
Let's talk about the events that you do for Wilkes, and I guess you got to be multi-talented when you get to college because we're looking for as many events as you could get in.
Yeah, definitely. We always look for people to fill in different events. So I do the breaststroke and the IM, the individual medley, so I do all 4 strokes. And then we have people that specialize in freestyle, whether it's sprinting or specifically distance with the long events. And then there's always the different strokes. We're always looking for people for fly, back, breast. So it's a challenge. It's a difficult sport, but we always find people to fit the bill.
Let's talk about some of the things you do with your teammates to try to make sure that you're on the same page, whether you need help in a class academically or maybe just to kind of grow your relationship and know that you may talk to these other fellow classmates years down the road.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's always the support system. I know we get a lot of engineering and pharmacy is really big with Wilkes, so a lot of those students are upperclassmen. They'll be really helpful to say if you need anything with your classes, I have old notes, old tests, we'll help you out, we'll tutor you, because you can only get tutoring for like your first year, so then once you've moved on, then you rely really on those upperclassmen to help you through. They'll show you the ropes, whatever they can do to help you make through.
As far as your major, let's talk a little bit about what you're involved in and what you hope to do with it.
Yeah, so I'm an early childhood education major, so I'm part of the education club with Wilkes. I'm hoping to, once I graduate, get a job teaching, hopefully eventually go for a master's, probably in some type of specialization, maybe reading. So yeah, I'll be certified to teach the elementary grades, and so I'm looking forward to that.
Favorite subject? Let's talk about differentiated reading.
Yeah, so that's one of my classes. 2 classes that I have differentiated reading. That's we're learning about literacy and just building a curriculum that meets the needs of all the students in the classrooms, the different strengths and their weaknesses. So I find that a really interesting topic.
Yeah, and your grade point average is excellent, 3.8. So you're a heck of a student, that's for sure. Let's talk about down the road. Where do you see yourself as far as an everyday job?
Everyday job? Well, hopefully teaching somewhere. I'd like to teach first grade. Not quite sure where yet. Might be in-state, might be out of state, but we'll just see where it takes me after graduation. Let's
talk about your family. You have a big family, so take us through all those members of your family.
Yeah, so I got 4 siblings. My oldest is Theodore. He is about 28 now, I think, and he lives down in New Orleans. He actually works for the World War II Museum. Then my next brother, Jonathan, he went to Lebanon Valley College a couple years ago. He graduated, and he has a job working for one of the businesses locally back home. And my sister is about 23, I believe. She graduated last year, and she is currently doing a mission program out in Minnesota right now. And then my youngest brother, he just started his freshman year at Temple University, and he just came back from Taiwan from taking a gap year.
That's a lot to remember.
Yeah, it is.
Let's talk about the parental support and obviously trying to be there for you.
Yeah, my parents have been always very supportive, especially in high school. We were always very involved. All of my siblings, different sports, swimming, soccer, football, and then always in band. We were in marching band, all the different clubs and organizations. They were always there to take us. They were always there to be there at the meets of the events, and they still show up to whatever they can, especially nowadays in high school.
Thurman Fogelman from Wilkes University, we appreciate your time and have a great senior season.
Thank you.
Chase Osborne joining us from Wilkes University swim program here on the John Mendola Show, and we're at McCarthy Tire Service in Wilkes-Barre. And Chase, you're a junior, so you're a sprinter. Talk a little bit about how you do in the sprints and what you like about them.
I started swimming when I was very, very young, and then I quickly got to college swimming, and I've always been very good at the 50 sprint for freestyle, but I am able to do every stroke, just for not very long, unfortunately. In high school, I always placed in like the top 10, 15 swimmers, but now that I'm in college, it's a lot more competitive, so I don't do as well as I used to, but I still enjoy it. So
let's talk about some of the fun that you're able to have with your teammates, whether it's long trips on the weekend or you're at your home pool and doing your thing. Talk about some fun things that you try to do to keep things, keep the mood a little bit light.
Often as a team, we like to go out hiking. We did that a couple weeks ago. We went to a local place, Seven Tubs, and we also tend to go out to dinner on Friday nights after practice sometimes, if we can.
As far as your family, you have a big family, so talk about your sisters, your brother, and what they're all about.
Yeah, I have 3 siblings. I have a brother, Michael, who's actually swimming for high school now, and he runs cross country. And then I have a sister, Alexa, who enjoys like the dance and theater and playing music and stuff. And then my sister, Katie, she's the oldest. She actually just moved out to Pittsburgh recently, is now working at a blood bank.
Mechanical engineering. Talk about that, what you enjoy about that.
I enjoy everything about it. It's great. I was great at math in high school and science, and I really enjoyed tinkering with mechanical objects or whatever. And so I decided to go for engineering, and I want to end up in the aerospace industry when I get out and really work with airplanes.
Let's talk about the aerospace industry and anybody else in the family or friends that are there. Just something that always intrigued you.
Both my grandfathers were in the Air Force, but that's not why I do it. I just always had a fascination for planes.
That's pretty cool. Let's talk about your rival, King's College, and what it's like to swim against them. That's usually at the end of the year.
Yes, it is. It gets very, very competitive. I think that's probably when we get the most people in our stands, so it's a great time for everyone.
As far as your other teammates and trying to show them the way, talk about when these new recruits come in, and now that you have a couple years under your belt, what you try to tell them about college swimming.
Well, I always tell them that college swimming is definitely a big commitment. It's very, very hard, but it's rewarding too. I think my best years were spent swimming here for Wilkes.
And as far as everybody working hard in the classroom, Coach mentioned that it's been really good the last 4 or 5 semesters at Wilkes with everybody doing a good job in the classroom. Talk about that commitment that you have. A lot of late nights, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely, and especially in engineering or pharmacy and nursing, we're up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, stressing out over exams and homework and stuff. But we make our best effort to get it done and keep up the GPA.
Well, Chase Osborne, we appreciate your story. We wish you the best here the next couple of years at Wilkes University. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Brianna Saylor joining us from Wilkes University swim team here on the John Mendola Show, and you are a freshman. So you're getting a full-fledged college experience of classes and athletics, and not easy the first semester. What's it been like for you?
It's been a little tough, getting used to my schedule and everything. But right now it's getting easier as I'm adjusting and everything. I also work, so that's a lot on my schedule. So.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of these upperclassmen that are maybe trying to at least guide you and help you a little bit.
They're doing a really good job at guiding me and helping me get through things. So they're very helpful.
But your coach, you have a young coach, obviously. He knows about swimming, that's for sure. But he also knows about recruiting the right student athletes that are going to fit at Wilkes. Talk about what you think, why you're fitting into the Wilkes University community.
Well, I fit in with the team. So that's the big thing that stood out to me when I came for my recruit weekend was the team and how they all bonded, and that's what brought me to Wilkes. Well, one of the reasons that brought me to Wilkes.
There you go. Let's talk a little bit about your major and what you hope to do down the road.
My major is psychology, and I want to get a degree in psychology, obviously, and then be an occupational therapist.
That sounds pretty darn cool. You have a twin brother.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about him.
His name is William, and he goes to college in Florida Southern college, which is in Florida. He does track there. I don't really know his major all that much, but I know he wants to like do military.
And as far as back home, tell us where you're from and what your high school experience was like.
I'm from Philadelphia, and I went to Mill and Hershey School, which is a boarding school in Hershey. So, and I swam there. So.
What was it like at Milton Hershey? You hear a lot of great stories about Milton Hershey. Talk about what your experience was like and whether it was academics or athletics or both.
It was both. It was very positive. Like the teachers were great and the athletics were great and stuff there.
Let's talk about the student ambassador at Wilkes, your early experience with that so far.
Yeah, well, I work in the admissions office as a student ambassador, and I make phone calls to the potential students that want to go to Wilkes, and I work open house and stuff. So.
Freestyle and backstroke.
Yes.
Let's talk about how you do in each of those as well.
Pretty well. I got a new record this year in the 100 back, 127. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to as the season goes on? Just to
drop a lot of time.
Well, you're making an impact already as a freshman, and we appreciate your time, Brianna. The best of luck in your career.
Thank you.
Morgan Williams joining us. She is a junior from West Scranton, so not too far up the road, so to speak. And Morgan, let's talk about what's your college experience been like swimming at Wilkes.
So far, it's been great. I love it. It's definitely made my college experience a lot better. Happy I made the choice to swim.
And let's talk about what it was like in high school and trying to get over to college and that difference. Now it's your junior year, so you have a couple of years of college under your belt. But what's it like going from high school to college, whether it's academics or athletics?
It's definitely a big change. You have to focus so much more on school, and it's just, I don't know, it's a lot different, especially the swimming aspect too. Coming from West Scranton, it was a big change.
Freestyle, let's talk about some of the events you do and what you really like.
I really like the distance events, anything 500 or higher. I like the mile.
Who likes that stuff? Let's go in the pool and do 20 laps. That sounds like a lot of fun. Talk a little bit about being able to have that endurance and then work at it.
I don't know. I swam the 500 in high school, and I really liked it then, and I got to college, and my coach was like, well, why not try the 1,000 or the mile? So I did, and it was just, I liked it. I like it a lot better than sprinting. So.
Let's talk about you have a freshman that came in this year over on the ladies' side we just spoke to, and talk about trying to be an influence for some of those student athletes that come into Wilkes.
It's definitely great getting to have the new freshmen come on the team and being a role model for them. We like to help them out as best we can with their classes and try and include them in the team bonding activities and get everybody together.
Let's talk about Coach Barnes and what he demands of you. I know that he's on your side in the sense of, hey, we have really good student athletes here that are working hard in the classroom, so it seems like he's always there to try to make sure you're going to get the help you need if you need any.
He is. He likes to balance our schoolwork and the swimming portions of everything. He likes to make sure that we get our schoolwork done but still have time to practice.
Let's talk about the future for you, what the big plans are as far as your goals in having a career.
Ultimately, I want to become a guidance counselor. I'm hoping after school to get into a master's program for counseling and go from there.
We wish you the very best of luck and continue hard work there in the pool at Wilkes University.
Thank you.
Allie Aspie joining us here on the John Mendola Show from Wilkes University Swimming. And Allie, let's talk a little bit about your experience thus far here at Wilkes. What's it been like?
It's been really fun. I really like it here at Wilkes.
And as far as in the pool, talk about how challenging that is, practices and competition in college is pretty darn good too.
Right, yeah. It was a lot harder to adjust to competition in college versus high school, but once you get adjusted to it, it works really well. I like it a lot.
How about your teammates? The women and the men's team at Wilkes, a close group, a lot of pool time. So talk about how you do with your teammates, and I'm sure you need a lot of support. Everybody does with, classes and, everybody's going through some of the same challenges.
Right, so everyone on the team, we spend a lot of time together, so we are always together with each other and usually out of the pool and in the pool. So we're all friends, we all hang out all the time, so it's really nice to have friends.
Let's talk about some of your favorite events in the pool.
I really like to swim butterfly, long distance and short distance butterfly, and I swim freestyle too. But
Sometimes you're thrust into events just because you have to do it. Though.
Right.
But the butterfly seems to be your thing. And talk about how many hours you're in the pool a day, practice-wise.
Usually about 2 hours a day we're in the pool. About an hour lifting every other day.
How's the lifting component? Maybe some swimmers in high school didn't do dry land training or what have you. What's that like to be involved with that?
I never did lifting in high school, but getting into it in college, I really like it. It really helps swimming.
You have a brother, Cameron, who's 19 years old. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, he's also a fellow swimmer on Wilkes University. He's an engineering major, and yeah, we like to spend a lot of time together.
What's it like having that support system, having your brother there, and knowing that, kind of have one of your best friends probably that you can lean on and go through some things with?
Right, it's really nice. I can talk to him whenever, and we hang out all the time. So it's really nice to have him here.
Environmental science, one of your favorite subjects. Talk about why you enjoy it.
Well, that's also my major. I really like the outdoors. I really like exploring and just looking at everything related to nature.
And that's what's coming up in the future for you. Talk a little bit about life after Wilkes University.
I really want to move out west and work with the National Park Service.
And you have some family out that way?
Right, yeah.
And as far as rivalry kings at the end of the year, one of your teammates was saying, you usually get the most fans out for that. Talk about what you hope to do by the end of the year as far as knocking off some seconds from some of your times.
Right, my goal for the year is just to qualify for max, drop my times down, try and get my lowest times to get a good seat time for max.
Allie, great to catch up with you here at McCarthy Tire Service in Wilkes-Barre, and have a great season.
Thanks.